We're not a family. We're acting like enemies.
And I hope that over the next month or over the next year, I can get these things straightened out and just find peace and love with my family. Everything's changing. And I guess I'm at peace. I'm in a very peaceful mood. I'm surrounded by people who are not offended by me right now. I don't have my whole family together again. This is the second Thanksgiving in a row that we're not all.
Why Kody didn't show up to the Browns' Thanksgiving? The truth nobody is discussing. Picture this. It's Thanksgiving. A family that once celebrated with 18 children, 4 wives, and endless chaos around one massive table. But this year, Kody Brown is nowhere to be found at most of his children's gatherings. The cameras caught empty chairs. The Instagram post told a different story. And what nobody is talking about is the real reason why the patriarch of sister wives has been systematically missing from family holidays, and it's not what the tabloids are telling you. What happened behind closed doors will shock you, and the pattern that's emerged reveals a truth that goes deeper than anyone imagined. Stay with me, because by the end of this, you'll understand why Kody's Thanksgiving absence is actually the smoking gun that proves everything we suspected about this family's collapse. The Thanksgiving that changed everything. Let me take you back to where it all started unraveling. Thanksgiving 2020. The world was in the grip of a pandemic, but for the Brown family, COVID became something else entirely. It became a litmus test that would expose the fractures nobody wanted to admit existed. Kody didn't just miss one Thanksgiving. He created a situation where missing Thanksgiving became inevitable for most of his family. Here's what actually happened. According to the episodes that aired, Kody laid down strict pandemic rules. He printed them out. He handed them to all 4 wives. He expected complete compliance. But here's the twist nobody talks about. These rules weren't designed to keep the family together. They were designed to reveal who would submit to his authority without question. Christine Brown made the choice that would define everything that followed. She chose to spend Thanksgiving with her daughter Aspen in Utah instead of following Kody's protocols. Janelle Brown did the same, celebrating with her sister and children. Only Meri and Robyn, the 2 wives who still maintained any semblance of loyalty to Kody's vision, sat at that Thanksgiving table with him. And in that moment, Kody's words in his confessional were chilling. He could finally see who was loyal to him and who wasn't. Think about that. Thanksgiving wasn't about family. It was about obedience. The pattern of absence nobody wants to discuss, but here's where the story gets even darker. Thanksgiving 2020 wasn't an isolated incident. It was the beginning of a pattern that has continued year after year, and the evidence is plastered all over social media. Fast forward to Thanksgiving 2022. Janelle posts a photo on Instagram captioned, "Our Thanksgiving crowd." Grateful for family and friends. She thanks her son Logan and his wife for hosting. The picture is full of smiling faces, warmth, and actually genuine connection. But guess who's missing? Kody Brown. Not a single trace of him. Fans immediately noticed. The comments section blew up with questions. Where's Kody? Is he even part of the family anymore? Why isn't he with his own children? Christine celebrated Thanksgiving with her new husband, David Woolley, embracing her new life in Utah. Meri posted about spending time with friends in Michigan, including an adorable little boy she playfully referred to as the new man in my life. She was thousands of miles away from Kody, enjoying every minute of her life. And Robyn? Total silence on social media. No posts, no pictures, no acknowledgement of the holiday whatsoever. The truth is this. Kody Brown's absences from Thanksgiving aren't some kind of accident. They are not scheduling conflicts. They are the natural consequence of a man who has systematically alienated his entire family through control, favoritism, and an inability to take accountability. The custody battle that exposed everything. Let's talk about what happened in September 2024, because this is the nuclear bomb that nobody saw coming. Christine Brown filed a custody lawsuit against Kody. Read that again. A woman who was spiritually married to this man for almost 3 decades felt like she had to take him to court to protect her children. What does that say about Thanksgiving absences? It tells you that Kody's relationship with his children had deteriorated so severely that legal intervention became necessary. Christine wasn't just walking away from a bad marriage. She was actively trying to establish boundaries to protect her kids from further harm. And the kids? They're speaking out. Michael T. Padron, one of Christine's daughters, moved to North Carolina with her family in 2024. When asked about her relationship with her father during a fan Q&A, she made a devastating observation. If Kody took more accountability for his actions instead of blaming the children, blaming the other wives, blaming gossip, maybe some of his kids would reach out. But instead of saying, "I understand I did something wrong. I'm sorry. Can we talk about it?" he continues to position himself as the victim. The death that should have changed everything, but didn't March 5th, 2024. Garrison Brown, Kody and Janelle's 25-year-old son, died by apparent suicide. This should have been the moment that brought the family together. This should have been the tragedy that made petty grievances disappear and forced reconciliation. But even in death, the pattern of absence continued. Leon Brown, Kody's child with Meri, posted a blistering message on social media in November 2025 that sent shockwaves through the Sister Wives fanbase. Leon wrote, "Let me be so fucking clear. I have not heard from that man since my brother killed himself. Kody blatantly blew me off at Garrison's funeral." At his own son's funeral, Kody's behavior was reportedly so problematic that another one of his children felt completely abandoned. Leon didn't just say Kody was distant. They said he was blown OFF at a funeral for Kody's own child. Leon went further, calling Kody a liar and a joke of a father after Kody claimed on a podcast that he always reaches out to his estranged children. Leon's partner, Audrey Chris, commented on the podcast clip with two simple words, verifiably not true. This isn't about Thanksgiving anymore. This is about a man who has been absent from his children's lives in the moments that matter most. The loyalty test that backfired. Let's go back to that 2020 Thanksgiving for a moment, because understanding Kody's mindset is crucial to understanding why he keeps missing these holidays. Kody didn't want a family Thanksgiving. He wanted a loyalty test. He wanted to see which wives would bend to his will, which children would accept his authority without question, and who would prioritize him over everything else. He got his answer. Christine and Janelle chose their children and their own mental health. Their kids, the majority of Kody's 18 children, went with their mothers. Meri showed up out of a desperate desire to maintain some connection to the family structure she'd known for 3 decades. And Robyn, his legal wife, the one he's admitted to being in love with, stayed by his side. But here's what Kody didn't anticipate. Loyalty tests destroy relationships. When you force people to choose between you and their values, their children, their dignity, you might not like what they choose. And once that choice is made, there's no going back. The Thanksgiving absences aren't Kody choosing not to show up. They're the natural result of burning bridges so thoroughly that there's nowhere left for him to go. The favoritism that poisoned everything. We have to address the elephant in the room, Robyn Brown. Every single ex-wife has pointed to Kody's blatant favoritism toward his 4th wife as a prime reason the family fell apart. And if there's one thing these holidays prove, it's that point. Who got Kody's physical presence during the 2020 Thanksgiving crisis? Robyn and her 5 children. Who got to have the real family Thanksgiving? Robyn. Who didn't have to worry about whether Kody would show up? Robyn. Meanwhile, Christine's kids received video calls at best. Janelle's sons, Gabe and Garrison, were told categorically they weren't welcome at Robyn's house because Kody considered them COVID safety risks. The message was clear. If you're not in Robyn's household, you're not a priority. Christine put it in blunt terms in a November 2024 episode. I felt betrayed by Robyn. I felt like I could never really trust her. I would tell her things that I thought were in confidence, and then I'd get in trouble for them, and Kody would get mad. The favoritism didn't just create resentment between the wives. It created a hierarchical system where Robyn's children were treated as Kody's real family, and everyone else was optional. When Thanksgiving rolled around, that hierarchy became painfully visible. The reconciliation that will never happen. In recent interviews, Kody has talked about wanting to reconcile with his children. He's mentioned therapy. He said he has regrets. He's even admitted in a shocking confession that he needs to own the failure of the family because he was the leader. But here's the problem. Kody's version of reconciliation still requires his children to come to him, to apologize to him, to accept that they somehow betrayed him by siding with their mothers or setting boundaries. During the Sister Wives one-on-one special in January 2023, Kody addressed his sons directly. Boys, I'm sorry. I was trying to protect my family. Next time, I'd manage it differently and I'm sorry. But according to Janelle, those sons hadn't heard from their father and felt completely rejected. She said Kody was still acting like they need to come to him. Fast forward to 2024, and nothing has changed. Janelle revealed she's pursuing a spiritual divorce, following Meri's lead. The church that once bound this Plural family together granted Meri a release on the grounds of abandonment. Let that sink in. The official religious reason for Meri's spiritual divorce was abandonment. What the property sale reveals in April 2025, the family sold Coyote Pass, the land in Arizona that was supposed to be their forever home, the place where they'd build their dream houses and finally live as one united family. That sale wasn't just about real estate. It was a funeral. It was the official acknowledgement that the dream was dead, that Thanksgiving tables would never again hold all 18 children for wives and one patriarch. The land sale meant Janelle and Meri could walk away from their marriage to Kody with something tangible, but it also meant there was no future where this family reunites under one Arizona sky. Kody is now living in a monogamous relationship with Robyn in Flagstaff. The other wives have scattered, Christine in Utah with her new husband, Janelle pursuing her spiritual divorce and RV lifestyle, Meri running her bed and breakfast and living her own life. The Thanksgivings will remain separate. The Instagram posts will continue to show divided celebrations, and Kody will continue to be absent from most of his children's lives. The estrangement nobody saw coming, perhaps the most devastating aspect of Kody's Thanksgiving absences, is how many of his children are now estranged from him. It's not just one or two. According to various reports and statements from the show, Kody is estranged from most of his adult children. Gabe and Gabriel, Janelle's sons, estranged. Madison Brush, Janelle's daughter who has 3 children Kody rarely sees, estranged. Kody hasn't even visited North Carolina to meet some of his grandchildren. Michael T. moved her entire family across the country, partly because she was exhausted about trying to get everyone back together. Isabel, Christine's daughter, has a strained relationship with her father. Leon, Meri's only child, hasn't heard from Kody since Garrison's death. The pattern is undeniable. These aren't rebellious teenagers acting out. These are adult children, many of them parents themselves, who have made conscious decisions to limit or eliminate contact with their father. And when Thanksgiving comes around, they're not calling Kody to see if he'll show up. They're celebrating without him, posting grateful photos about the family they choose to spend time with, and moving on with their lives. The truth nobody is discussing, so here it is. The truth nobody wants to say out loud. Kody didn't show up to the Browns' Thanksgiving because he's not really part of the Browns family anymore. He has one wife, 5 children who still regularly see him, Robyn's kids, and a shrinking circle of family members willing to maintain any kind of relationship with him. The rest? They've moved on. They've built new traditions, new family dynamics, and new holiday celebrations that don't include him. The Thanksgiving absences aren't a bug in the system. They're a feature. They're the natural result of a man who confused control with leadership, favoritism with love, and loyalty tests with family bonding. Kody's absence from Thanksgiving isn't about scheduling conflicts or unresolved COVID protocols or even the divorces themselves. It's about the fact that when you systematically alienate your children, play favorites with your wives, refuse to take accountability, and blow off your own child at their sibling's funeral, people stop inviting you to Thanksgiving. The empty chairs at those Thanksgiving tables aren't accidents. They're statements. They're the physical manifestation of emotional distance that Kody created, brick by brick, choice by choice, year after year. Where do we go from here? Sister Wives continues to air, documenting the aftermath of this family spectacular implosion. Season 19 and the upcoming season 20 show the continued fallout, the separate celebrations, the strained conversations, and the moments where Kody almost seems to understand what he's lost. But understanding and changing are two different things. As long as Kody continues to position himself as the victim, as long as he refuses to take full accountability without qualifications, as long as he expects his children to come to him rather than meeting them where they are, the Thanksgiving absences will continue. Christine has remarried and built a new life. Janelle is pursuing her spiritual divorce and spending holidays with her children who actually show up for her. Meri is traveling, running her business, and finding joy in unexpected places. And the 18 Brown children? They're creating their own families, their own traditions, and their own definitions of what it means to be together on Thanksgiving. Kody can sit at a table with Robyn and her 5 kids and call it Thanksgiving. But the reality is the real Thanksgiving, the one filled with laughter, with authentic connection, with unconditional love, is happening everywhere else. In Christine's Utah home, around Janelle's table with her kids, in North Carolina with Michael T's family, in Denver with Leon and their partner. The Browns are still having Thanksgiving. Kody just isn't invited anymore. And that, my friends, is the truth nobody is discussing. Not a single absence, but a pattern of abandonment that became so normalized, so expected, that eventually his own kids stopped wondering if dad would show up. They just set the table without him and moved on with their lives. The saddest part? Kody manufactured the very loneliness he now claims to be a victim of. He engineered his own exile. And unless something fundamentally changes in his approach to relationships, accountability, and fatherhood, every future Thanksgiving will look precisely like this. A patriarch sitting with the one wife who stayed, while the rest of his family celebrates the holiday without him, thankful for the family members who actually chose to show up. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss Breaking Sister Wives news.